TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Before I get into the whole Rikishi character, you also, as the Sultan, wrestled a young Rocky Maivia, The Rock. What was it like working with The Rock when he first came in?
It was cool. It was cool, but it was also, I felt, he was being led a lot from the office. He was trying to do his best out there. He was just starting, you know what I mean? And I think, he was kind of feeling like how I used to feel when I first started was, all that pressure, you know what I mean? Trying to do the right thing. But I knew he was going to be okay because he was an athlete already. Rocky was already an athlete. And when we both worked that night, we were kind of, I think it was in Chicago at a pay-per-view or something like that. We first worked together. He was easy. Yeah, he was so easy to work because he was already an athlete.
Right.
And it was difficult for me because I was still kind of learning the psychology around this character, trying to adapt to him, you know what I mean, and trying to make sense of this match, and which it wasn't too good of a match.
One of your biggest angles was with Steve Austin, and was the plan originally for you, or was it rumored? Some people say it was supposed to be for Billy Gunn.
That I don't know of. I would have been happy if it was Billy, but I'm happy that it happened to me. You know what I mean? Because being tangled up with in an angle with Stone Cold has just put me in that league. You know what I mean? That forever, this business, you can always have different guys that when you leave the business, that there's certain guys you don't remember. Well, with that angle and being involved with The Rock and Triple H, you're always going to remember Rikishi, you know what I mean, the character. And it was good for me, It was, I was kind of disappointed because, during the time I was promised to have a run with The Rock. I was promised to have a run with Steve, and I'm talking longevity runs, And again, in this business, anytime they see something good, that they either try to knock it down, or they play games where they, they promise you one thing and they do something else. So that was kind of after that angle there, that was kind of where I kind of like, okay, now it's time for me to make my move now. So
Triple H was actually added to that story. Was that pretty much a plan from the start?
Yeah, well, when Triple H was added to the story, I honestly didn't know that he was going to be the guy behind that actually ran over Steve, so they say. From a storyline standpoint, I was supposed to kind of have my run with Rock, with Steve, and then with Triple H.
Right.
Which that kind of never really happened.
Do you think you and Austin could have done some more business together?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. I think they gave the people the payoff right at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
That's because there was another payoff they were giving to somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
how different was it wrestling The Rock later on, years later after you first wrestled him?
Very different. He was a lot more experienced, a lot more. When somebody is over as Rock, you don't really have to work with a person like that. You know what I mean? Because anything he does in there, it's all right with the people.
Right.
Just being involved in there is a win itself. And I didn't have to work hard with him. He sold so well. He knew how to draw the people in. And I didn't have to do too much. All I had to do was just be myself out there, and he did the rest.
Did you think that Rock was going to go on to be such a success later on? Did you see it in him?
I knew he was going to be somebody due to his athleticism. He was a good-looking guy. He's a great body. And at the time, not too many Islanders had good bodies. It was me and Sammy there, Yokozuna there, and then Coach Rock. And I think I really realized, because I've never heard him talk before, but once I started seeing him on television, when they gave me the opportunity to talk, I knew once they let him go, the sky's the limit, you know.
Right, right. Did you feel a lot of pressure coming from a wrestling family to perform?
Yes, you always do, and I think in any other business, you know, because they all look at you like, oh, you're here because your family opened the door for you, but no, you know, hey, I'm here because I'm that damn good.
Right.
You know, they don't understand. I was scared to begin to come in here because I knew I had shoes to fill, you know, and trying to fill up Alfonseca's shoes was very difficult, you know, but at the same time, you know, I felt that me and Sammy were confident that we were the next best Samoan thing, you know, and with the singles thing, my brother Tonga Kid, he took it to another level.
Definitely.
You know, then Yokozuna as a big man took it to another level, and then finally when The Rock came, it was over.
Yep.
You
know. Memories of your first matches on house shows. What are some of your memories of working some of the house shows early on?
Going to a house show and only 3 people there was I don't know, man. There was a lot of stuff at going to different towns, and like that, I guess that was the biggest thing. You show up and there's nobody there to watch you.
What town was that at?
This was in San Jose, California.
Oh, wow.
And I found out, I thought it was me, but I found out that the promoter didn't even advertise the town. Nobody even knew we were there.
That's for Vince?
In a bingo, no.
Oh, I was going to say.
It's a bingo hall.
Okay. I was talking about as far as Vince goes. When I went to your first matches on house shows, I met with Vince.
Oh, with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, what was it like?
Man, it was a high, man. I think I'm not mistaken, I think it was Providence, Rhode Island, that we were called in. It was a different atmosphere. It was what I expected.
Right.
You know, thousands of people sold out, you know, just all into what you're doing. And I was so happy at that time we learned the psychology to be able to flick these people on and turn them off. You know, and once we were able to do that, to perform in front of people like that, I said, we're finally here, you know.
Did anybody rib you guys early on at all? Or?
No, we didn't get too many ribs. I think that's where that family thing came in, so that was pretty cool, you know.
What do you remember about your brother's success in the WWF?
Oh, the Tonga Kid, man, he was kind of the one that really, you know, wanted to kind of make me wrestle. Basically, when I got out of high school, my brother was in that angle with Piper and Orton. It was Jimmy Snuka, and so I was flown up here from my little brother. Came up to Madison Square Garden. He put me up in the VIP stand and so forth, and I said, "Look at this kid, man! This guy's just showing off at me, you know." And then, you know, when I seen my brother come out that tunnel, and you seeing 20,000 people screaming their heads off, man, it was that type of, you know, that type of rush, you know, and I never felt that before.
Right.
And here I am, was looking around. I was kind of looking at him, but looking at all the fans and just kind of tripping out, everybody cheering. That's my little brother. And then, you know, from there on, it kind of like, you know, I was kind of had that little itch till I got in the back of the arena and I seen how much you got paid for that night. So I think this is the way here.
As far as the training goes, what was the hardest aspect of training? Was it learning the psychology or learning to take bumps, or?
The bumps, you know, we were athletes anyways. You know, I think the hardest thing I had to learn was the psychology of the match. You know, what to do, when to do it, and for what reason to do it. After a while, it didn't click into me that this wrestling thing is like a story, like you shooting a movie, you know, and you got to learn how to bring these people in to understand what you're trying to do in this square circle for the 10 minutes that you have. And we kind of struggled with that for a while, and just again being around my uncles a lot, we watched tapes a lot, you know, and just so I could see myself on TV. And then at the same time, it was like a learning thing after a while, because I really started to get into it. I said, nah, that didn't look good. How can I make it better? And for what reason would I do this? Or where do I do this? So it was just a lot of studying the tapes. The psychology was the most hardest.
Right.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.